everyone. My name is Samantha Hernandez, and I use she, her, ella pronouns, and I am the climate justice organizer at the Oregon Physicians for Social Responsibility.
Hi, my name is Laura Dagley. I am a nurse and the medical advocacy coordinator for Physicians for Social Responsibility, the Pennsylvania chapter.
My name is David Spence. I'm the current board president of the Arizona chapter of Physicians for Social Responsibility.
Hi, my name is Karina Perez Europa. My pronouns are she, hers, ella, and I am the Clean Air organizer for Oregon PSR.
My name is Tinye Verkaitis, and I came on board as the executive director in January.
My name is Sean Tinney. I'm the associate director at Oregon Physicians for Social Responsibility.
Hi, I'm Barbara Donakai, board-elect of Physicians for Social Responsibility, Colorado.
Hi, I'm Tammy Murphy, the Medical Advocacy Director of Physicians for Social Responsibility in Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Anna Lanakis Baker. I'm the Executive Director of Greater Boston PSR.
My name's Max Zavashinsky, and I'm the Executive Director of Washington Physicians for Social Responsibility.
Despite what will forever be known as the pandemic year, as an organization, we've managed to grow, going from Philadelphia and Harrisburg chapters to a statewide organization. This has allowed us to expand our engagement with healthcare professionals and impacted communities across the state.
Our past year has been one of stabilization of our fledgling chapter into a robust and effective organization.
This year, GBPSR's top climate accomplishments have been our successful advocacy with other groups around the serious health risks of biomass, particularly in environmental justice communities, which resulted in the Department of Environmental Protection pulling the permit for the Palmer biomass plant in Springfield, Massachusetts.
This year, we've been working harder than ever to mobilize health professionals to lean on our local electeds and decision makers to address the gravest threats to health.
Today we want to share some of the successes of the last year, which includes creating a grassroots campaign to shut down Marion County's polluting trash incinerator and mobilizing health professionals to speak out against crude oil and frack gas.
So 2021 has been an extraordinary year of opportunities for health professionals and other SFBA PSR members to amplify our voices and grow in our efforts in support of climate health, environmental justice, and the abolition of nuclear weapons locally, nationally, and globally.
We've done a fair amount of climate activism this last year. We sponsored and promoted the rooftop solar installation through a solar co-op here in Arizona, and this collaboration has resulted in 90 homes getting rooftop solar in the last year.
Our work with allies led to the unanimous passage of the Berto update in the Boston City Council in September. Large buildings in Boston account for 60% of its total greenhouse gas emissions. The update will require buildings larger than 20,000 square feet to be net zero by 2050. In terms of potential carbon emission reductions, this is the most important climate mitigation ordinance that Boston has ever passed.
So PSR Colorado became a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the city and county of Boulder to stop the connecting trails between the Rocky Mountain Greenway trail that runs through the plutonium contaminated Rocky Flats buffer zone and the bike trails and connect to the bike trails in Boulder.
In support of the mission of the Park Foundation, we conducted an assessment of radiation exposure to communities in proximity to the unconventional gas development industry.
Our chapter has been part of a cancer crisis coalition in southwestern Pennsylvania. This coalition was formed when dozens of children and young adults were in the 4-county area were diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma and other rare cancers. So our coalition includes other community groups and impacted residents that are concerned that this increase is linked to the heavy oil and gas infrastructure in the region. It was pressure from this coalition that led Governor Wolf and the Department of Health to announce that they were spending $3 million on a pair of studies to explore the health impacts of the natural gas industry. Since that announcement, we have worked to hold the administration accountable to this promise, to ensure the studies include radioactive waste streams and to facilitate communication between impacted communities and the Department of Health.
WPSR, through its climate and health program, led by our organizer, Nick Manning, was a proud advocate for recently passed legislation that makes our state a climate leader, notably through the Climate Commitment Act, which created a cap and invest program to limit and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, invest in programs and projects to reduce emissions, expand clean transportation, improve climate resiliency, and reduce air pollution in already overburdened communities.
Lastly, our work in building electrification has been primarily as leaders of a group called Here for CJ, which hopes to provide a thorough case for why electrification and home repairs is critical for the health, environment, and economy of Philadelphians, and also to design an equitable and just framework for housing repairs and electrification that can be used to develop and assess projects to make the case for healthy home repairs and equitable electrification.
On the nuclear front, we have a state-level Back from the Brink resolution pending, Senate Bill 1566, and 6 Boston City councilors have signed on to a letter to Biden and Congress endorsing Back from the Brink. With the Massachusetts Medical Society, we have co-sponsored a course entitled Nuclear Weapons, a Public Health Issue.
We've been active in nuclear weapon abolition, and our members in Tucson participate in the weekly protests at the Raytheon Missile Development Plant. We do this in conjunction with other peace organizations.
We supported formal letters to Presidents Biden and Putin, asking them to reduce the threat of nuclear war, including a very recent letter with over 300 national signatories delivered both to the President and Congress. We, of course, participated in Back from the Brink, a campaign to urge the adoption of measures such as no first use and no sole presidential authority, and advocated for local resolutions with work in Berkeley, Arcata, and San Francisco.
We also participated in a vigil commemorating the same of our commitment to eradicate nuclear weapons, and it took place in downtown Asheville on August 6th of this year.
Washington is home to the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons in the hemisphere. It's the home state of the chair of the House Armed Services Committee. It's home to Hanford, the country's largest nuclear waste Superfund site, where the fissile material for the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs was produced, and home to Native American tribes and large Asian Pacific Islander communities that have been victims of the legacy of nuclear weapons production and testing. Thanks to the work of WPSR's Nuclear Weapons Abolition Task Force, led by our newest staff member, Tara Villalba, and the Washington Against Nuclear Weapons Coalition, Washington has also been a leader in the nuclear abolition and nuclear justice movements.
Although we have successfully accomplished so much, there is still so much work to do. OPSR is looking forward to continuing to build on our successes in blocking fossil fuel infrastructure in our region. We are hoping to eventually close the Zenith facility in Portland, for example. We are also working to close the Marion County incinerator for good and advocate for zero waste policies.
In the coming year, we will continue to work at the state and national level to push not only for the abolition of nuclear weapons, but for sane nuclear policy and for justice for those who have suffered and continue today to suffer the health and other associated impacts of nuclear weapons production, testing, and usage.
Going forward, we're hoping to garner more support from elected officials to endorse Back from the Brink, and we hope to continue our progress ridding some of the most polluting fossil fuel sources from our region while supporting clean energy options that create healthier living circumstances for all communities.
We are going to participate in International Physicians for Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons.
Looking ahead, we will continue our tenacious fight against fossil fuel infrastructure in Washington, focus on promoting building electrification initiatives throughout the state, and continue to push for climate solutions that address pernicious environmental justice issues and climate-related health disparities.
Going forward, in April of 2022, we will present a webinar on radioactive waste from Rocky Flats and the epigenetic and other health implications. We're planning for a third fracking conference, and we're focused on expanding our climate justice work. with ally groups. We're improving our climate and justice social work with infusion of new and highly experienced board members as well.
We have been busy this year, and we invite you to check out our website and support us in any way you can, gbpsr.org. Thank you.
Physicians for Social Responsibility of Western North Carolina encourages and invites your support for our national organization. You can make a donation at www.psr.org. Thank you.
For all these reasons, we need all the engagement and support we can get. So no matter where you are or what you do, there's a place for you at WPSR. Please join and support us today at www.wpsr.org and let your friends in Washington know that they can be a part of WPSR's work to protect the health of Washingtonians and people everywhere. In the meantime, thank you for your support of PSR and doing all you can to address the gravest threats to health. Have a great night.